Something something fancy intro, something something whatever. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, Eric July breaks the bank with the launch of Isom, his first Rippaverse comics book. John Delarose. Come on now. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Anyway, Eric July. This is a man known for many things. Sometimes there's his music, rapping,
producer slapping bass like Tito. I'm walking moves like his brother Michael, but I'm clutch like the Jordan one, and you DeAndre shooting a free throw. You be broke.
There's his political stance, which I champion, by the way. I'm all about anarcho-capitalist libertarianism. He also thrives in the comic space. For those of you that don't know, Eric July. Crowdfunding world is ended today as Eric July launched his first book in the Rippaverse series, Isom #1, on his own website. Crowdfunding site is complete with different packages and features similar to a Kickstarter Indiegogo campaign, but that's all through July's own infrastructure. So pretty much what that whole paragraph is saying is Eric made a website. It's called RIPPAVERSE.com. You should go there, buy some stuff, mainly the book, and secondarily everything else. Nonetheless, Eric went ahead and he started up his own comic site, right? Like he got tired of the bullshit that was going on. I've read through this article already. Just to give you the quick rundown, he created, I'll say it again just to reiterate, a website. And from that website, well, more so he's creating a company. There's a lot of enthusiasm for it, clearly. A lot of people are very hyped. You see in the first day alone, he's looking to make only at best $100,000. That was just the campaign goal. This man blew past that in the first day. The campaign had 75 days on it, and in the first day alone, he blew past that almost 5 times over. So you can tell how anticipated people are for this. So you see Ethan Van Sciver's over here praising him. That's a good thing. You see Yellow Flash is also over here praising him. That's a good thing. Renzo Rodriguez, a couple of other people out there have also been praising him. You know, you got obviously the people who've been supporting him for the longest. You know, the bigger names such as, you know, your Geeks and Gamers, your Nerdrotic, Quarter Black Garrett's and whatnot. Everybody's been behind Eric this entire time. Like, yo, do it. It's gonna do gangbusters, and gangbusters it did. However, you have another article. This one from John F. Trent. That's my boy. It's my boy. Hey, Trent, I still got your I got your lightsaber over here from that fight we had, that lightsaber fight we had. I can mail it to you if you want to pay for it. Eric July's launch of his Rippaverse comics was banned by the comic book subreddit, which touts over 2.5 million true believers. So pretty much this article, I read through this as well, and what it's pretty much saying here is they remove Rippaverse. They remove Rippaverse from the comic book subreddit. So they remove comic books from comic book subreddits. Why? Because it quote unquote supports hate groups. Not entirely sure what hate groups they're talking about, unless they mean Marvel and DC. Then it makes sense. But that not being the case, clearly they're talking about Comicsgate. And Comicsgate, to this day, since 2019, I want to say, roughly 3-ish years, a little over 3 years, I've been asking every single comic books or Comicsgate detractor I've come across, hey, what did Comicsgate do? What did they do specifically in order for you to be so jaded with them? Did they touch you wrong? Did they take your lunch money? Did they splash you with the puddle of dirty water from the gutter? Did they call you ugly? You see here in the I guess this image of the comic book subreddit. Blah 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 blah. You've been permanently banned from participating in r/comic books. You can still view and subscribe to the comic books. You can't, or you won't be able to post or comment. I don't care. Oh, they have rules. That's right. Let me read those. Rule 1 on the r/comic book subreddit reads, quote,
Rule number 1, be civil. Racial, sexual, homophobic, or cultural slurs will result in a permanent ban.
You do know you banned a black man, right? A black man who just wanted to make comic books for the sake of making comic books. Isn't that a bit racist? I mean, I get it. He supports a quote, I guess, what you guys consider a hate group or whatever. But have you actually done any research of your own into finding out what makes them a hate group? Because the results would be astounding.
Do not disparage the differently abled or threaten or incite harm against other users, creators, or industry professionals. Any form of bigotry or support of hate groups, such as Comicsgate, is not permitted.
Any form of bigotry or support of hate groups, such as okay, I was just making sure they worded that correctly, because I was definitely about to hit him with a gotcha. So Comicsgate is not a hate group. I'm still trying to figure that out. What makes them a hate group? Ethan may be a zealot, all right? Let's not sit here and fake the funk. The man is very full of himself, and rightfully so. He's artistic as all get out, right? The man's art is fantastic. I have yet to read Cyberfrog books, but the art is good enough as it is. I'm sitting here like, I might go ahead and get a copy. It continues, quote,
Please be respectful of other people's pronouns.
No.
Intentionally continuing to use the incorrect pronouns after being corrected is a violation of Rule 1.
So?
While debate and differing views are encouraged, please keep all discussion on topic and do not resort to personal attacks. As a general rule, don't be a jerk.
Sounds like Heather Ontos is a mod on the r/comic book. I wouldn't put it past her. I wouldn't put it past her. She's like the neighborhood bike of the comic book industry. I would not put it past her. She was part of this too. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on. Quote,
Individuals of every demographic are important and deserve representation, both in media and as creators behind the media. Deliberately propagating these forms of erasure, belittling the wants and needs of other individuals.
the fuck out. Who the fuck? I don't fucking care about y'all. I literally don't. I just don't. Forced diversity. And similar complaints about forced diversity. They are legitimately right there in that one phrase. Similar complaints about forced diversity have no place in this community. What they're saying is you have to allow us to enforcefully inject race-based stuff, gender-based stuff, fucking sexuality-based stuff, and you have to like it. If you don't like it, you're gonna get kicked out. That's all it is. We're gonna put it in your cereal, and you better eat your goddamn Wheaties. Quote,
Posts with comment patterns meeting certain negative criteria, such as excessive amounts of rule-breaking comments.
I was about to cross a line. I was about to cross another fucking line. Get banned off of YouTube too. Susie Witwicky, I see you. Relax. Get your finger off the ban button. I ain't do nothing wrong yet.
May be locked at the moderation team's discretion.
The rule concludes. What the fuck ever. Fucking rule 1, be civil. Shut up. Be civil is so basic in concept that being civil means just, in general, talk it out. Say hey to the person you're talking to. Say goodbye to the person you were talking to. Like, it's so fucking simple in concept that they then gave you a whole dissertation on how to not be a bigot. By their standards. Oh man, they wildin', dog. They wildin'. People are fucking retarded is what they are. Comic book subreddit is no stranger to banning comic book creators for having different views than the moderators of the subreddit. Subreddit previously banned Florida Man editor and Bleeding Fool editor-in-chief Chris Braley when he shared a link to the Indiegogo page for Florida Man. Like the Reddit user attempting to promote the RIPPAVERSE, Braley was informed he was banned for, quote,
Comicsgate support.
The moderator informed him, quote,
Comicsgate support is not tolerated on this subreddit, such as pro-Comicsgate websites like Bleeding Fool and Comicsgate-led crowdfunding campaigns, like those from Chris Braley.
That is such a targeted statement. Hey, look, we're gonna ban anyone associated with this guy, because if you're associated with this guy, we automatically see you as an evil person. And evil has no place around here, even though we're all being evil people, by keeping out any kind of non-groupthink. The irony. Oh, I can taste it. July also responded to the ban, writing on Twitter, quote, it's all good. We do not need the folks that wish to protect the old guard. They can't stop us, and we're gonna win. And he is correct. We are, to be more specific, we are the youth of a nation. As for Isom's story, As for Isom's story, the campaign details it allows. I can't read. It follows Avery Silman, a common rancher, but that wasn't always the case. After obtaining some unique abilities, Avery spent a brief stint being a superhero under the moniker Isom in the city of Floral Park, Texas. Realizing that it wasn't for him, he walked away from this life, but after responding to a call from his sister, Altona. I know there's some people that are like, how do you pronounce that? It's Altona. Some violent altercations ensue and has Avery reconsidering his approach. Fair enough. And look at this. As of this article, July recently thanked his supporters for writing on Twitter, quote, "Your response to the launch of this comic book universe has been something we couldn't have prepared for or anticipated. Yet we hit 1 million. So what is it? $1 million! Nervous hit. In just over 1 day. Thank you so much to everyone for your support. We're just getting started. It's fine because the hate train don't stop there, baby. No. We'll go ahead and go into this article as well. And then we'll go ahead and look at some salt tweets, some salty tweets, right? Look at some salty tweets. Nonetheless. Now I heard this article flying around through the grapevine, watching on your boy Zach's channel. Eric did a response to it. I guess you can call it a response video to it. I know there are other people that have checked this out and talked about it as well, but I haven't. So listen up. Eric D. July gets 30,000 orders worth $2.5 million for, quote, non-woke comic. Bitch Johnson, just do us all the favor, man. Do us all the favor. You go ahead. You go ahead. Get that rope, man. Get that rope. Get that rope. Quit bleeding cool and go join a rodeo. Eric D. July is a libertarian contributor to the conservative network Blaze TV, founded by Glenn Beck. See, now, the premise already is not the best setting for you, Broke Johnson. What you don't want to do when you do this kind of setup, unless you're doing like one of these targeted article, kind of like this one, what you don't want to do is lead with someone's politics, especially in today's climate, because, oh, well, you lean this way. If you're anything right of Bernie Sanders, you are a fascist, a Nazi, a Trump supporter, alt-right, all these buzzwords and shit that don't make any fucking sense to who you are as an individual. And then you went with the conservative network Blaze TV. See, here's the thing about Blaze. They're willing to welcome on liberals as well. You just have to get your liberal ass up and fucking go into the studio, have a conversation, have a sit down. But, liberals are kind of incapable of doing that. Not all liberals, just most of them. And when he had a comic book to crowdfund, they were happy to highlight this to their readers and viewers and to label it as non-woke. And that's the problem. Well, I'll get into it in a second. Woke is defined as being aware of injustice in society, especially but not limited to racism. It's only racism, right? Which doesn't seem anything that most people would be opposed to, especially superhero comics, which would seem to be all about fighting injustice. But I guess, welcome to the internet. What the fuck? What are you, a fucking teenage girl? Why are you writing like this? Rich, come on now. Aren't you like 54 or some shit? I'm not Googling, I'm just guessing. The book Isom #1 is to be written by July. Is to be written? It was written. It's done. The book is done. The book is finished, dog. Come on, man. The comic book Isom #1 was written by July. Drawn by Cliff Richards. Colored, oh God, with a U. colored with a U, by Gabe El Taib, and letter by Eric Weathers, and is intended to launch a new multi-book comics universe, the RIPPAVERSE. Okay, I thought you spelled it wrong. Isom is described as telling the story of a superhero who has come out of retirement. Not true, according to Eric July. It's not exactly retirement, to be more specific. Avery's sister, Altona, gives him a call, wants him to visit an old friend by the name of Darren Fontano. Another family friend that was interning with Altona has gone missing. She last heard that she was dealing with Darren. But Darren has much changed since he was hanging out with Avery when they were young. He's a cold-blooded shot caller and one of the most feared men in the city. This visit turns into one of the longest days in Avery's life. Around these parts, people call special beings accepts. And unfortunately for Avery, he has the luxury of running into some of them. The Alpha Corps and Yaira have their own set of conflicts. A man built like a tank by the name of Santuan reappears, and he's had previous confrontation with Avery, which sounds a bit like tackling injustice in society to me. What? Wait, what? Hold on. Time out. So you took the entire quote from Eric and then said it sounds a bit like tackling injustice in society to me. So, bitch Johnson. So, tackling injustice in society, isn't that like kind of like the modus operandi of your standard superhero? Like Spider-Man tackles injustice, Batman tackles injustice, Superman tackles injustice. Woo! I need to go ahead and nervous swig on that one. Jesus Christ, dog. The non-woke label saw the story picked up by Fox News. Does it fucking matter? It's just, that's just how you market. You put your shit on the airwaves. Just so happen Fox is a pretty big fucking platform. And the New York Post, which have helped spread this cry further. What cry? Dog, what is this, high school? Sorry, not high. I take that back. That was a gross mischaracterization of your article. Not Rich at all, Johnson. And I do apologize. I must correct myself. What is this, grade school? Spread the cry further? What? To spread the word further would have been better. Spread the news. Spread the market for it. Like, it's something other than cry. It makes you sound like a bitch, to be honest. I mean, I guess Bitch Johnson is a good name for you. Not Rich at all, Johnson. Broke Johnson might be it. And the revenue, already in 6 figures. No, it's not. Soon went into 7 figures. Now it's 7 figures now. Almost 30,000 pre-orders, over 2.5 million dollars. It's actually more than that, by the way. That is a remarkable achievement for a new comic book property right off the bat. No matter who promoted it. Though the price for a 96-page comic of $35 plus $10 shipping might seem a bit on the high side, no, actually it's not. It's not if you look at current comic books, right? Current comic books will give you, like, including the ad pages, about 20 pages. About 20 pages. You'd be lucky if you'd be lucky if you get 20. You're probably getting like 15-ish. 15, 16 pages. And they charge you about like $4 for a single issue where they tell you nothing about the character or anything about the character's journey. They charge you about $4 for like a fifth of what Eric is charging. We'll go with the standard of Marvel, which is what I think $5.99 for issue 1 of a series of a run or whatever. $5.99. Okay. If you took the same amount of pages, if you took the ads out, to be more specific, if you took the ads out and did the same and used the same amount of pages, I have to do some math real quick. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? All right, Pete. right? So we'll go with. I'll be on the lenient side, right? 16 pages. Cutting out the ads. 16 pages. So you got 96 divided by 16. That would be 6, right? 6 issues. You would need 6 issues in order to catch up to how many pages come in Isom number 1. There's no clear button. So 6 times $5.99. It's $35.94. So there's that. Broke Johnson. If it wasn't for the virtue signaling what? Wait, wait. Though the price for a 96-page comic of $35 plus $10 shipping might seem a bit on the high side, if it wasn't for the virtue signaling possibilities. Huh? The virtue wait. What virtue signal? I'm confused. See, this is the problem this is the problem with writing like a middle schooler. I apologize once again. A grade schooler. What virtue signaling? If Eric D. July, why don't you just say Eric or Ripper or July, wants to create a long-running collectible comic book universe for the RIPPAVERSE, he might want to try and bring some economics of scale into play. He did, or risk bankrupting his followers. Well, see, as one of the people that are in the trenches of the fucking emails that we call the ticket box, where we're solving a lot of issues when it comes to people who mistype their addresses or want to cancel an order or want to change and modify an order and stuff like that. When it comes to when it comes to, you know, sitting in that situation, I think people are financially sound. People who want the book are financially sound. They know, hey, I really want to support the book. I want to get some of the limited stuff, but I ain't got the funds for it, so I'm gonna hold off. Because though they want to be a part of it, they know that they can't without putting themselves in the deficit. So we call deductive reasoning. Common sense. Using a fucking brain cell, Broke Johnson. Even with today's comic book inflation, 96-page superhero comic usually sells for $10 to $12 from my comic shop. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're going for that cheap garbage ass shit, like, you know, what do you call that shit? The Marvel team ups or whatever. If you're going for that, like, corny ass, like, the fucking backlogs from 2012, sure, yeah, that shit'll go for $10 to $12. Ain't nobody trying to buy that shit though. Nobody gives a fuck. Those stories suck. Most of them. There's probably like a couple of gems, but most of those stories fucking suck. The hell I'm gonna go out and spend $10, $12 on a 96-page book that I'm probably never gonna finish because it just bores me to fucking death. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Because Eric is indeed thinking long-term, has a code of ethics for his publishing plans, which can be summed up as no multiverses, okay. No time travel, okay. And an official continuity timeline. I'm fine with that. I am 100% okay with that. If a character dies and stays dead, that's fine. The story was told. Nobody asked for Marvel to come back, and yet they brought him back as some like piece of shit character. Nobody asked for Zack Fair to come back, and yet they brought him back, and now the fucking story of Final Fantasy VII makes zero goddamn sense, and it's very turn off. Like, I am not entirely sure these count as ethics. What? They count as ethics? What do you mean? They count as ethics, Broke Johnson. Like, it's really simple. People he brings on in the off chance that, like, you know, he brings on people to write, the ethics are clear. Do not multiverse the characters. Do not time travel the characters. Keep the characters in a single timeline. Continuity timeline. If they die, they're gone forever. If they don't die, you'll see them at some other point throughout the timeline. It's real simple to understand, Broke Johnson. Don't act dumb. Oh, well, I don't think you're acting. Nonetheless, it continues. I am not... Oh, I read that. But with multiversal storylines sprawling across different media recently, This might be a real measurable point of difference for the Rippaverse rather than the more ephemeral, non-woke, though less likely to get Fox News headlines. You write like you speak, and it makes no fucking sense, Broke Johnson. Stop. Holy shit, stop. And keeping reboots to a minimum. Like, why would you put that in your fucking in your article? And take the O and the and out. Keeping reboots to a minimum, though that is not exactly Plato. Take the whole sentence out. Take the whole fucking sentence out because you're retarded. Rich is actually retarded. I apologize if I offended you, you retard. From a publisher yet to publish their first comic book has been seen as putting the cart before the horse. Oh, it's this fucking sentence. In the past, this kind of acclamation from a publisher yet to publish their first comic book has been seen as putting the cart before the horse, but it does acknowledge his ambition. So pretty much what we're saying here is, well, that's completely ass backwards. No, that's called doing your own thing. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But as a showing so far, it's working out. It's working out real well, Broke Johnson. Eric July also told The Blaze that, quote, "I am not in the business of lecturing people and telling people exactly how to live their lives. I agree. But there are universal truths that I will acknowledge and I think that's what's sort of missing. People, because people have, unfortunately, definitely in comic books these days, put other stuff at the forefront, and telling a good story is secondary. He's not wrong in that assessment. Acknowledging those universal truths are secondary if they're ever acknowledged at all. This does seem to be in conflict. What? What is important? Telling a good story or acknowledge? Rich Johnson must be the only person. Fuck, that's not his name. Broke must be the only person working at Bleeding Cool, because I only see articles from Broke, and I don't think he has any editors. Because that is an atrocious sentence. This does seem to be in conflict. What is important? Telling a good story, acknowledging universal truths. I would say telling a good story, because it's kind of what you showed up for. And if truths are universal, do they need to be acknowledged? Aren't they by their nature already acknowledged? What is this? What is this? What do you call that shit? Existential bullshit you're typing here. And if someone thinks these truths aren't universal and doesn't believe in it, isn't calling something as a universal truth? And I'm done reading this fucking goddamn paragraph. Next paragraph, because Broke is retarded. The Blaze also refers to July, saying that Rippaverse Comics will also be a place where content creators, artists, writers, and anyone else in the comic industry who feels alienated by big corporations can come and tell their stories without fear of censorship or judgment. There are a lot creative people that are in our space. That's misquoting a man. That's a misquote. You gotta go back and correct that, dog. There are a lot of creative people that are in our space, on our side of the line thinking, on our side of the line of thinking, in support of the value of liberty, no matter whether you're conservative, libertarian, or whatever, and they're just undiscovered. They are in hiding because they have to work for the old guard, he said. Yeah, he did say that. I did get a flavor of, to paraphrase, the Blues Brothers. What? Wait, I did get a flavor of the Blues Brothers. We have both kinds of politics here, conservative and libertarian. Okay. What? I probably shouldn't have read this article. Jesus Christ. I don't know how I'm tired, my head hurts and suddenly nauseous. I can't even speak right now. Blah, blah. Rich Johnson has a superpower and it makes people dumb. So, where was I? There are many places outside the corporate controls who publish comic books, and many self-publishers who choose to do it themselves and have done for decades. Just not everyone has been able to frame it in such a way to get coverage from their media employer, as well as Fox News and New York Post. Okay. Is there a specific format in which every creator is supposed to go through? Because that makes no sense, broke. Like, just because Eric went the route that he did doesn't mean that he's doing it wrong. It means that he's doing it the route that best suits him. Ethan Van Sciver didn't go through Marvel and say, hey, can you guys boost my Cyberfrog book? He just stopped working for DC and decided, I'm going to work on my own stuff. Put on Indiegogo. Your boy Zach got kicked out of Antarctic Press over Mark Waid's old bitch ass. And look at your boy Zach now. He's got like fucking 15 books under his belt. He's done work with Sylvester Stallone. He's working with Narwhal. They got the Narzak books coming out. He's got his own little universe forming, like tying storylines and shit like that together. It's pretty damn cool. I invested in some of this stuff. I got the Iron Sight stuff though. Iron Sight's in like a Jawbreakers book. That Umbrella guy, he also decided to go through Indiegogo. Yellow Flash is going through Indiegogo. Fucking Raging Golden Eagle went through Indiegogo. Like, you don't have to send your comic books through Marvel and get them promoted by Marvel in order for your shit to succeed. You can just, as a creative, get up and do it. It's kind of how that works. It's called marketing yourself. There's also another question to ask, and stumbling across this accidentally last week caused all manners of ructions. I hate you so fucking much. I hate you so fucking much, Rich Johnson. Ruction. Disturbance or quarrel. Holy moly. Disturbance, noise, racket, din, commotion, fuss, pother, uproar. Or you can just say ruckus as opposed to being, look at me, I'm fancy. Get the fuck out of here. Rich, broke Johnson, low income Johnson. Anyway, running a crowdfunder on Kickstarter and Indiegogo gives some measure of a surety to the pre-orders listed, but running a crowdfunder on your website does not. There is no independent voice to state that you got the orders you say you do. What? You got the what? What? So if you make a headline of it, how can that be verified? As it stands, RIPPAVERSE crowdfunder does not have verification. There is no independent source to confirm the order numbers, but it has been reported repeatedly without the caveat. It's certainly a believable figure though, especially given the media profile Isom has received. And still, with many months of fundraising left on a crowdfund. Many months only equates to like 2.5, right? It's not many, it's just 2.5. Hell, it's barely even that. It's 2 months in a week. 2 months in a fucking week. That's not many. You could have said many days and be like, all right, well, that makes more sense. But many months, it's only two days in a week. Is 8 figures next? Rich Johnson. This is the most underhanded, softball, weak noodle-wristed jab I have ever seen in my fucking life, dog. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut you. What I want for you to do is to shut the fuck up. You are getting on my nerves, and you do nothing more than just get on people's nerves. You're like a gnat. You just keep bugging and bugging people as if they care about what you are saying. You just have a name, and they like to meme on you. Low income Johnson. But it boggles my mind. Why would you write this article if not to get some kind of clout, dog? Like, it's just the ankle biting is real. Woo. Non-woke comic. That's the shit that bothers me when it comes to a lot of comics, well, entertainment in general nowadays, is you have to go in with the mindset of, is this going to be woke or not? That's the problem. You go into something expecting woke, you get woke and you hate it. You go into something expecting non-woke and it's non-woke and you give it praise. without actually looking at what it is that's being given to you, like, at all. It's like looking at a sandwich, right? It's like someone gives you a sandwich and you go, oh, I hope they didn't put shit in this, and you bite it. It's just a regular ass turkey sandwich, just turkey. Like, like you got like some lettuce, no cheese, unfortunately. That's just kind of how bad this sandwich is. But you're like, well, at least it's not shitty. Like, no, that's a bad mentality. It's not about whether it's woke or non-woke. It's about if it's entertaining, because it's entertainment at the end of the day. That's the message that was lost long ago when it comes to a lot of these comics and movies and video games and all kinds of different, like, TV shows and stuff, that entertainment in general. Even music is cut. Like, people don't create things for entertainment value in like at all anymore. I wouldn't say at all anymore. That's a very definitive phrase. It's rare that you come across someone who just creates something entertaining because it's entertaining. So you look at Isom, right? You look at Isom and you're just like, okay, well, I'm hearing things about this guy. What did he do? Well, you got to pick up the book and find out. Fuck, now I'm intrigued. That's how you market. Now you go pick up the book and you enjoy it for what it is, and you're just like, damn, not bad. For a startup, okay, cool. I'll check out the next one. That's how you sell. You put out good characters, you put out good stories, you put out good art. But at the end of it all, it doesn't have to be woke or non-woke. It just has to be fun. That's why Top Gun Maverick stomped on Lightyear and took their lunch money. Like, that's why fucking Minions. Minions. That's why the fucking lemon flavored Tic Tac stomped all over Buzz Lightyear. He set his phasers from stun to spill. Oh shit. Nonetheless, Disney looking at Lightyear like, oh, why didn't it fucking succeed? Well, because he marketed it with woke shit. And by woke, it's not just racist stuff, Bro Johnson. You also have the whole alphabet mafia movement. You have the sexuality movement. Oh, well, no, the two are tied, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, you have people who identify by what they are as opposed to what they offer ideologically, as opposed to who they are as an individual. Like, you're not when you step into a new place, you don't go in there and hope that there's somebody, and you don't go in there and hope that there's somebody who's like, you know, who's also black like myself, right? I'm not gonna step into a place and hope that there's a black person that I can, like, you know, talk to, and then he's like, hey, is there a hood around here? And we go find more black people, and then we start up a fucking Black Panther party in the middle of the fucking mountains. I'm not doing that shit. That's fucking weird, for one. For two, like, that's not the fuck I'm about. I don't give a fuck if you're of the black race, the white race, the brown race. It doesn't bother me at all. Do you like Android 18? If you don't, we might not be that cool for too long. And if you say, who the hell is Android 18, I'll give you a pass. But I mean, the fact still stands. People don't want non-woke shit. People just want fun entertainment stuff. That's why you can look at, you know, not just Minions and Top Gun Maverick as successes. Look at Sonic 2. Look at Spider-Man No Way Home. Look at all of these other movies that do relatively well for, you know, the marketing and whatnot. Look at all these other productions that do pretty damn well, as opposed to your Lightyears, your Amazon loaders, your Halos, your, like, all of these other trash ass shows. Because not only do they forsake good writing, they also just overload the shit with identity politics. Like, anybody fucking care. I don't care if the main character is a woman. She just better be good at what she does. She doesn't have to outshine the dudes. She just has to be good at what she does. It's that easy. Now let's look at some fucking tweets before I like drag this video on longer than it needs to go. So Eric has a thing here, right? He says, oh yeah, no, he's just pretty much mocking these the detractors, not the left necessarily, just the detractors. All he does is complain. Do your own thing. It'll never come out. It'll flop. Those numbers can't be real. Of course, it was going to do well, but he can't maintain this. Give me your next guesses on what the next goal. Give me your guesses on what the next goal supposed to be. And he's not wrong, because this is actually something that he, along with a lot of other people, have been echoing for the longest time. These weirdos will always come up with some kind of excuse to remain on, well, I guess, morally on the top, even though they're not on top of anything. They're not on top of anything morally or financially or spiritually or mentally or emotionally or physically, because they're power bottoms. So Black Luffy, of course, because, you know, Luffy can't just be a white boy with a pirate hat. He has to be yeah, you got to be the black version, right? Token. Black Luffy says, it's funny because this is still not making anything close to Marvel and DC, like I said, and there's the goalpost. There's the goalpost. This is still not making anything close to Marvel and DC, like I said, and it won't. You celebrating small successes, and that's fine, but this won't be popular to the whole culture, just your crowd. Now let's talk about Doctor Strange closing in on 1 million. Are you talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? The multi-million-dollar Marvel production in the film industry that's following off of the heels of WandaVision, which followed off of the heels of Avengers Endgame, which followed off of the heels of the entire MCU? That? Something that's already established? Something that's already been bringing in billions of dollars long before its production? That's what you're comparing it to? You legitimately just looked at this mountain, and you looked at a mountain and then looked back down at a rock and said, you will never get up that big. It's like, first off, it's a fucking rock. No, it's a terrible analogy, to be honest, but it makes sense in my head, so I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna leave that analogy in. Nonetheless, this guy moved the goalpost. I think I replied to this guy at some point. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so, you know, you got your one detractor there. Let's see if we can find some more detractors. If I keep pretending I'm somehow persecuted, people will keep buying my Virtue Signal comic no matter how little effort I actually put into it. Nice grift, bro. You really got them buying it. Sure thing, buddy. Oh, man. I don't think Eric has never marketed himself as a victim. That's the thing that hurts these people so fucking much. He's never marketed himself as a victim. He never looks at this and goes, oh, well, they're just hating on me because I'm black. Or they're hating on me because I'm a straight man. Or they're hating on me because I have Christian values. I have, like, you know, traditional values and so on and so forth. Because I don't sit on a plantation like the rest of these, for lack of better terms, Negroes. Spooks. But like that, I think that's what it is. It's that, like, Eric sits outside of what they want him to be, and it burns them up so much that a man with this much success cannot be controlled. It's like, oh, he's a little Elon Musk. You'll never reach Elon Musk money, Eric. Now, take that, you bigot. I say that shit to my boss, he gonna laugh. Oh shit, I'm gonna hit him up in Teams later. Oh, most of these things are true though. Oh yeah, this fucking guy. This fucking guy. Bro, he's one of the biggest detractors to almost everybody. I always see this goofy ass fucking image pop up. Like, only a retard would post themselves as a 3D retard. A 3D tard. This guy. Dragon Age 2 for the win at Anime Milwaukee. Ew. Nonetheless, yeah, that was me responding. I was like, you've been detracting for ages now, money. Go learn an instrument. Go learn an instrument. Pick up a hobby. Read a book. Go outside. Touch grass. Learn how to swim. Learn how to ride a bike. Aris. Fuck off, you stupid ass name. In the end, you'll just be another cautionary tale who pretended to be different, but really was exactly like the people who pretended to oppose. Who you pretend to oppose, you just wanted the power for yourself. And you charge how much for a TBH? Oh, wait. I don't know. What is the TBH? Whatever. Graphic novel. How much did he charge? $35. $35 for a 96-page book. Nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with that. But then again, I'm not broke. So there's that. He legitimately thinks he can outcompete Marvel and DC, which is ridiculous. I guarantee this thing doesn't even reach 1 million. Oops. Fucking oops. Fucking oops. How much of that money came from your buddies or conservative outlets like Daily Wire and Breitbart? Hell, how do we know you aren't inflating the numbers when we know you are capable of doing so? All for a right-wing knockoff of Invincible and The Boys. What? What? These people are lost. These are lost people. These are lost souls. So all we can do at this point in time is just laugh at them. We just laugh at them. At least that's the best approach. That'd be my approach. That being said, just to put it into, like, you know, the broadest perspective that there is to offer, right? This is a major success. The RIPPAVERSE, a very, very major success. Glad to be a part of it. And if you're not a part of it, well, I hope you do become a part of it at some point in time. But to the detractors, I laugh at you. But I think I wasted enough time. I've been speaking for about an hour. I should stop. So I'll do so. Y'all go ahead and hit the like button, follow, subscribe, all that garbage. And you know, look me up on the Shagsworth's channel. I'm gonna be playing. Gonna be doing some midweek hump. Well, actually, that's every Wednesday except for this upcoming Wednesday. What is that? The 27th? Because I'm gonna be heading down to Anime Matsuri for a week. So, you know, look me up out there too. Then we'll be back on the grind the week after. Feel me? But until that time, you guys stay safe. It's real in these streets. Much love to you all. Take it easy.